Hello, Ravika from Lingerie Sewing Supply. Today we have an awesome product that I am really excited to review. These are quilting clips, which I love using for lingerie sewing, and probably everybody in the world has heard about this except for me. But if you haven't heard about this sort of thing yet, then I would love to share this info with you. Basically what these are little clips traditionally used by quilters. So if you're looking in a store, you might find them in a quilting section or go to a quilting store to find them. But what they are is they're just these little tiny clips that clip to the edge of your fabric, hold it together, done, easy. And then when you're sewing, you just take them off. I really love them. I discovered them through a student who brought them to class. You know, I always tell people, well, bring whatever you like for pins or pattern weights, that sort of thing. And she brought these little clips, and watching her use them was just amazing. You know, they don't leave pinholes, they're super easy to adjust, they're just awesome. So I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to go pick some of these up and try them out myself. Now, when I was in the store, you know, there were a couple of different brands. This one here, the Clover brand, I did some research, apparently that's the original. And then they also had these mini-me clear top simple seam things. And I didn't know which one to get because I wasn't sure exactly what she had used in the class. I thought it was the Clover, but I wasn't sure. And basically, while there are many different kinds, many different styles, the thing I really needed was size, right? You can see how tiny these little guys are. And this is actually a bra cup. Just so you can see what I'm working on, that's what that is. So this is a size comparison. So this little size is just fine for small pieces. You can't find anything smaller than this. I looked, can't find it, but this does the job really well. The Clover brand is a wee bit smaller than the mini-me's, right? That's where they're at. But they're both still really small. Of the two, my preference is absolutely the Clovers. Absolutely, based on the way they feel. So when you squeeze them in here a little bit, the Clovers are easier to move than the mini-me's. It's not a huge difference, but for me it actually is really noticeable, and I have good, healthy, strong hands. These are not a product I would recommend if you do have any sort of arthritis, hand trouble, injuries, anything like that, because they are not easy. I will say that. I am definitely applying some pressure to get them there. But the payoff is that then it has this nice, even on the slipperiest fabrics, like, right, I can shake it all around. It's not going anywhere. Kind of hold. Whoops. These are going wild. All right. Clearly they want to be the #1 choice, right? Okay, so when I'm comparing these, I definitely prefer the Wonder Clips. The mini-me's, though, is a good second if that's all you have. The thing you want to avoid and watch out for is cheapy knockoffs. Basically, you know, I did some research because when you're looking at these, this is 50 pieces and it's about $20. It's about the same for both of them. Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth every penny, you know, but I know that it can seem like, oh gosh, that's a lot of money, you know, is there anything cheaper on there? So if you go out looking on Amazon, eBay, things like that, make sure that whatever you're buying is one of these actual brands, right? If you see 50 pieces for $5, there's a good reason probably that it is so cheap. And well, I guess I should say there's a bad reason it's so cheap. When I was doing my research, the thing about these, both brands, they're absolutely wonderful, is they're amazingly smooth on the inside. Right? So they have these little bumpies to help grip the fabric, but everything is smooth, everything is even. The tension on the clips is nice and even. Apparently with the knockoffs, you have the problem where sometimes this little inner part, you know, it's not in there securely because they're not well made, and so they'll just fly off and then you're down a clip. The other problem you can have is that the inside edges are rough and will snag your fabric. And if you're working with lingerie or delicate silk or anything like that, of course, that's the last thing you want. You were using clips so that you didn't have that problem. I will say, now that I'm feeling these and talking about it, the Clover, the Wonder Clips, are slightly smoother on the inside. As I'm really working around it, really paying attention to that. The Clear Top Mini-Me's, they're still nice and smooth. They're just not quite as glossy. I feel a little bit kind of right here on this edge that's not quite as perfect, but still a million times better than some terrible knockoff that you got on Amazon, you know. Yeah, I can actually feel right in here. It seems to be right this kind of bottom left edge that's really getting it. So again, in my mind, if you're working with really delicate things like that, I wouldn't even chance it. I'd just go with the Clover. It's definitely worth it to get the larger box. It's about 50 pieces for $20-ish, kind of depending on if you find some on sale or if they're slightly higher in your area. 8 pieces is $10. So that's not really, in my mind, a good way to go. They do sell a smaller pack, but I wouldn't actually go smaller. Just because these, you can see just on this little bra piece, right? I've got 4 just to hold it really securely, which is nice because the more a piece curves, the more I can add and adjust and different things like that. So honestly, I probably wouldn't bother with the smaller pack. I would save your pennies, get the big one. Use them, love them. They're absolutely wonderful, super, super fabulous. Yeah, that's really all I can say about them. This is an awesome tool, great for sewing lingerie, great for sewing other things. I sew shirts, pants, whatever. You just might want a bigger size or maybe not, depending on what you're working with. I don't have a problem with the smaller sizes, but most of the things I do are fairly lightweight. I'm not doing jeans, anything like that. So yeah, I highly advise going out. Wonder clips are awesome. I first recommend the Clover brand. If not, these mini-me clear tops they're okay. They're alright. I would save up for the Clover, but whatever. These are okay. Definitely avoid cheapy knockoffs. I'm looking at you, China. Sorry, just can't cut it here. And yeah, go out, sew, enjoy, have a great time. Thanks for watching.